Okay, hello there everyone, Nintendo Gen 64 is here with another top list. This is going to be the top 11 differences in the Crash Bandicoot 1 alpha or prototype version, which it seems to be called these days. So I thought, instead of doing like a let's play or a playthrough of it, I thought I'd just take a less generic spin on it and do my top 11 differences that I've come across while playing the Crash Bandicoot Alpha Prototype version. Now, these differences, they're subject to, you might not agree with them, but I think these are probably like the biggest and most notable differences. So, yeah, without any further ado, let's get started with number 11. Number 11. Okay, so the number 11, or the first difference, it's kind of a minor difference I noticed, but in levels such as Generator Room and also in levels like Heavy Machinery, well, those two levels actually, the holo projectors, which are these camera bot things that usually look around. I'll probably have like visuals up here showing you what I'm talking about. But yeah, there's actually these camera bot things in Heavy Machinery and Generator Room. But in the alpha version of Crash Bandicoot 1, they're actually replaced with these strange looking DNA kind of things with like red things coming off them. Anyway, yeah, that's that's a difference. So yeah, that's number 11. Number 10. Okay, so number 10 are the checkpoints. So you'll actually notice in Crash Bandicoot 1 Alpha Prototype that the checkpoints are actually called continue points and have a different animation. Now, in my opinion, I reckon this animation is way more interesting than the other animation. I think if they just changed the font to like the Crash font that we used to and kept the same animation, I think it's pretty cool. Except I don't think continue points, like, that's not a very fluid name. I think yeah, they were right to call them checkpoints. But yeah, I think that's a pretty interesting difference when you'll see in a moment, or you'll see now actually. But yeah, I reckon they should have kept that, and yeah, that's a pretty interesting difference. So yeah, number 10, the checkpoints. Number 9. Okay, so number 9 are the Aku Aku masks. So if we remember correctly, in the proper version of Crash Bandicoot 1, Aku Aku masks, when you get 2 of them, they turn gold, and when you get 3 of them, they actually go gold and stick to your face and make you actually run faster. But in Crash Bandicoot Alpha Prototype, or Prototype Alpha, or whatever, when you get 2 Aku masks, they stay the same color, but it just starts to shimmer a bit. And when you get 3 Aku Aku masks, they stay the same color, goes on your face, and you actually jump forward a bit. But when you run, you don't actually run any faster. So yeah, that's actually a very interesting difference there. So yep, that's number 9. Number 8. Okay, number 8. We're really flying through this, aren't we? Number 8 are the power boxes. So there's actually this new addition, well, not really new, but they took it out of the alpha version. There's actually boxes that have power written on them. And when you hit these boxes, or spin these boxes, they create fireworks. They don't actually hurt Crash in any way, so yeah, that's interesting. And yeah, there's a few of them. There's not too many in the alpha version, but there's a few, but they completely took them out. There's no actual evidence of the power boxes at all in Crash Bandicoot 1, the final version, so that's quite interesting. Yeah, so yeah, number 8. Number 7. Okay, now number 7 is pretty much the entire of Cortex Power in its entirety, because they really did a lot to this level. Just from when you look at it normally, it's pretty similar, but they actually, in the final version, changed it a lot. For instance, there's a big door at the start of the level, and that's actually very much altered in the final version, because the door is very different. Also, in the final version, it's actually a top-down map, so you're looking at Crash from like a top-down perspective. But in the final in the final version, but in the prototype version, Crash is actually, it's a 3D, it's proper 3D level. Now, I was playing this level a couple days ago for the first time, and it actually legitimately felt like a different level because of the lack of top-downness. It feels like a different level completely. So, yeah, I find that's a very interesting difference. Yeah. So that's number 7. Number 6. Okie dokie, number 6. There are no gems in the prototype version. Now, I don't know whether or not they hadn't got around to putting gems in, or if they hadn't decided that there were going to be any gems in the final version. But if you actually play the prototype version, there's no evidence of gem paths in any of the levels. Like Rolling Stones, for instance. Oh, no, Jungle Rollers. There's no gem path there. Same with the Great Gate, as well as a few other levels that you'll probably see in the thing down the bottom there. So yeah, no gem paths. That's quite interesting. Number 5. Okay, number 5. Now these are the real big differences that we're getting up to here. So in Crash Bandicoot 1, the actual normal version, there's a very different main menu. So you know the generic main menu where you got Crash running at the screen and then Crash Bandicoot comes over his head. Well, in the alpha version, that is different. That's really different. Crash isn't even in the main menu in that. Also, in the alpha version, when you save the game, or load a game, you have the password system still there, but instead of having triangle X, circle square, you actually have the boss's icons for the password system, which I think is really actually more interesting than the bosses. So, than the buttons on the controller. So I reckon they should have kept that. But yeah, that's a pretty interesting difference, the main menu and saving. So that's number 5. Number 4. Okay, number 4. Number 4, this is pretty much for every boss fight in the game. There's something different. So I'm just going to run through the main differences now. First of all, in all the boss fights, you'll see that down the bottom of the screen, instead of having the boss health bar, you actually have these like things that look like circles of light down the bottom, and they count for the hit points. Now, these apply to all the boss fights, but I'll just go specifically now. In the Puppy Puppy boss fight, you can't actually jump on him when he's spinning around. You can only jump on him once he's hit his club on the floor, which I think they should have kept because it makes it more difficult. Roo, boxes fall from the sky, and also if you stay in one spot too long, a TNT crate actually falls on your head and kills you, so you have to keep moving. Koala Kong, the boulders aren't actually auto-aiming, so you actually have to move the boulders and aim them yourself at Koala Kong. Also, there's way more TNTs that fall in the final stage of Koala Kong. Now, Pinstripe is actually completely unchanged. He's exactly the same as he is in the final version. Embryo, you can't actually beat him in the alpha version, so I'm not going to show him at all because I can't actually beat him. Also, Cortex actually shoots at different colored things, but he's pretty much exactly the same as well. So, yeah, the boss fights are quite different in the final version to what they are like in the alpha version. Number 3. Okay, number 3. Now this could be the most obvious one, but I don't think it changes the game dramatically. It's actually the map. Now, the map is actually a 2D concept art kind of map thing. It's not actually like 3D like it is in the final version of Crash Bandicoot, which I don't know. I think they maybe should have at least released the concept art for the maps in Crash Bandicoot. The alpha version, they should have released them, because I think they were, up until a few days ago when alpha was released, they were completely unseen. So yeah, you'll be able to see that in this video. So yeah, I think they should have kept that in. Yeah, that's a very interesting difference. Number 2. Okay, number 2, yeah, this applies to the map as well. It's the level order. The level order for levels has been rearranged in the final version to what it was like in the alpha version. Now, there's actually some rearrangements that actually make sense. For instance, Cortex Power is the first level of the third island, which I think they should have kept it like that, because Cortex Power starts outside, and it makes no sense that Heavy Machinery would start on the outside. Also, another difference is that, the second island, the first few levels of the second island actually appear on the first island, which I think that doesn't make much sense at all, because you're supposed to like go up a creek thing to get to Ripperoo, but in the alpha version, he's just like, you go up a mountain kind of thing, but up the creek is still on a mountain thing there, so that doesn't make any sense. Another thing that actually does make sense is that they put Jaws of Darkness and Temple Ruins on the same map, also on the same island. I mean, also they put the High Road and Road to Nowhere on the same island, which makes a lot of sense when you think about it. So there's a few things they should have kept in the level order, and there's a few things I'm glad they changed. But yeah, that's a pretty significant difference, I think. Not as significant as number 1. Number 1. Okay, so number 1, I noticed this straight from the start of Insanity Beach. The levels themselves, the levels that we've grown to know, are actually, for the most part, there's at least one difference with the either the box placement in levels or with the geography of the levels, especially in Sunset Vista. This is probably where the biggest difference comes. I think there's an entire new layer in this level that makes it so much more difficult in the prototype version than what it does in the final version. So yeah, you play it for yourself, and you'll notice that there's a lot of levels that there's some significant differences, like either something's been taken out of the level to make it easier, but for the most part, what they usually do is they actually have extra stuff in the level that makes it so much more difficult than what it actually is. So these are my top 11 differences. You can play the game for yourself and find your top 11 differences, or whatever. Anyway, I've been Nintendo Gen 64, and thanks for watching this video. Until next time, farewell for now, but not forever. See you later.